You're watching SME Fast Track, the small business TV program here on Silverbird Television. Earlier in the program, we brought you news about the African Development Bank's project in Nigeria to increase food production in the industry. With me in the studio is Confidence Odionye, the founder and CEO of Big Drones Technologies, to discuss the business environment in Nigeria's food industry and what can be done to stave off food insecurity, especially its impact on small business owners in the industry, and what must be done to improve consumption trends in Africa. So you're welcome to the show. Thank you very much for coming to join us today. First of all, we'll begin with the United Nations Population Division report, which says that by 2050, Africa would have doubled by 2 billion, doubled to about 2 billion people. What is your take on the food production system in Nigeria? Do you think that Africa has the capability, can meet the needs of a growing population?
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Those numbers are huge.
Yes. And
it requires that we farm a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
By 2050, Nigeria would overtake the US in population by being over 450 million, becoming either the third or fourth largest country by population.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nigeria has 85 million hectares of arable land.
Yes.
Right? That means that we can comfortably feed 450 million people plus additional 100 million. But there are factors that affect this. Security. Now, if the farmer is not able to go to the farm without being hurt or his crops being damaged by cows or animals, it becomes a problem.
Yes.
Of the reason of our lack of food security in both Nigeria and Africa. The second is our traditional method. So farmers are used to this manual way of doing things. I want to spray my land, I hire people and they do it. As humans, we have limitations.
Okay.
We have fatigue, we have stress. So there is always room for error. Machines, in the opposite way, can't have fatigue. They can be stressed. You tell a machine to do X, Y, Z, it does it. So, for us to sustainably feed 2 billion people, there must be security. We must see ourselves as an enclosed system.
Yeah.
There is no foreign food coming. If we don't farm, we die. Secondly, implement technology in every process in order to maximize production. That is where precision technology comes in, like the drones, to enable you to spray properly, spray the right amount, enable you to detect health defects in crops, enable you also plant properly in the pre-harvest, pre-planting period.
Okay.
So, if we don't massively invest in technology and push them in the front line, and we cannot secure our people, then we won't be able to feed 2 billion people.
These are very valid points that you have made. So because I know that you're in the tech space, the technology industry, and you're using your business as an entrepreneur, has contributed a lot. What would you say are the business opportunities for increasing crop yield? In Nigeria.
So there's a whole lot of business opportunity. A particular fast-moving consumer goods imports close to 6 million metric tons of wheat into the country, and we consume them. Nigeria consumes over $2 billion of rice annually. We consume them. So why do we have to feed the Thailand farmers by importing their rice? Why do we have to ensure that we Nigerians are spending out of our economy and reaching others whereby we are poor? The same thing I talked about regarding the enclosed system. If we can provide our own rice sufficiently ourselves. That means we are giving our rural farmers over $2 billion in cash. What that means is this: the farmer in that rural community have now increased his purchasing power. That means I can now go and start a clothes factory and sell new clothes to these farmers, because whenever they go out to the field, they are working their clothes will worn out and the rest. They would have the power to buy these new clothes. And every other industry should begin to spring out. An enclosed system. So for us, the business in crop harvest is huge. We have deficiencies. In the north, there are issues with irrigation because of the position of their land on the planet. They don't have access to water. So how can you create an irrigation system that provides sufficient water for these crops? That is why Nigeria actually farms only during the rainy season. So an entire year that there is no rain, we die of hunger.
Close shop.
Why should that be so? But when either rain, sun, we are eating, we are drinking water here, right? The water price does not increase during the dry season. It remains normal because there's water in the ground. So how do we ensure we provide proper irrigation system for the farmers?
Are people, especially young people, do you think they're aware of these sort of opportunities that they can start? Because I know that the employment rate is low, and a lot of people are longing and hoping that they can achieve one idea after the other as entrepreneurs. So what is lacking in identifying these opportunities and then moving forward with them?
I think the problem is actually fear. People are afraid to fail. No one actually succeeded without failing. Remember the moon landing that the US and the Soviet Union were racing to? They failed multiple times.
Yes.
But they learned from those failures. Most people in our climate, in Africa, are afraid to fail. There are young people in the agricultural sectors. Most of our clients are young people. But they are focusing on owning the land and farming. Taking, giving to off-takers. The problem still remains. The mode of farming is traditional.
Yes.
It's expensive, it's old, it's not working.
Eutrophication, all the many issues around it. What can be done? What can be done?
Well, there are several pollutions to the environment.
Yes.
Several pollution, both from carbon monoxide, from all our machines that we're using, from our aircraft to our vehicles, down to everything emits carbon. It harms the ozone layer, it damages our life, reduces our life expectancy, harmful to the plants as well. So what is the solution?
And what is the business opportunity for people? Yes.
That's where the solution comes from. Plant trees. What we have to do is this. People need to invest in renewable energy. Let us stop burning carbon and start thinking green. Let us plant trees. Let us have electric vehicles. Let us be able to understand that our plastic that we are using should be banned. We should use disposable or recyclable materials, one that is not harmful to the environment.
These are business ideas that people can actually
ideas.
make money from.
Definitely. But however, it's quite important that people should understand this, that they should not go into a business to make money, but to solve a problem. While solving a problem, you will definitely make money. Because greed is why we are in this terrible problem that we are in.
The concept sustainable intensification is what experts have reckoned to be the way forward. Can you speak a little bit on what you think that concept means, and what anyone listening, entrepreneurs or just someone thinking of what they can do to improve farming activities, what can they do?
So sustainable intensification is more like a process, a system that doesn't harm the environment,
Okay.
and does not utilize lands for non-agricultural purposes for agricultural purposes.
Okay.
So that means in a layman term, or in a 5-year-old way, don't harm the land. Don't pour chemicals that will harm the land.
Okay.
Don't pollute the land. Don't also use land that are not meant for farming.
Okay.
Now, this SI does not actually advocate a process or a method. No. It doesn't tell you the means, it just tells you the end, that you should not do this. Don't harm the land, don't use land that are not meant for agriculture. Because once the land is not polluted and once other areas of land are not utilized for what is not its purpose, at that point you have a sustainable environment.
Do you think that a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in the agricultural sector, are aware of some of these, of this particular term in a lay, maybe without defining it?
Well, I might not be able to speak for each and every business owner out there that are in the agric sector, but I know one thing for sure, that most people always tend to work with existing structures.
Okay.
So, for example, a particular company A goes and rents a land in a village settlement, a farming community, and they're farming. They try to obey the rules and regulations given to them by their host. So, the job needs to be done in the host. Are you sure you're giving these people the right guidance, the right instruction, the right rules?
Yes.
Are you sure you will not just relax your rules because of you have been paid a little bit higher? So that is where it comes in. And when it comes also spraying chemicals also, are we mindful that these chemicals, once they are too much, they harm our land, they also harm the products, which makes it harmful for we humans to also consume. So how are we applying the right amount of chemical? So all this needs to be put into consideration. And the process, I keep on saying, the process of our farming needs to be revamped, and that is what we're doing. We noticed huge gap in the process of farming, especially in spraying, for example, herbicides. The number of mixture of chemicals with water is, for us, we believe is so much, and it can be done with lesser amounts of chemical. And we are trying to put in a system, creating a training center where we can actually train these agronomists and show them that yes, with little amount of chemical, we can actually achieve the same results. So instead of you mixing 4 liters of chemical with 200 liters of water and pouring it in 1 hectare, that means you're pouring 4 liters of chemical in 1 hectare. Maybe we can do 1 and just still give you the same results. The weeds will still die. So we are trying to do this and ensure that we have the right results and putting in consideration the environment. So we don't want harm the land and damage the food that we're about to also plant as well.
Fantastic. And you're doing all this with the drones.
Yes,
the use of drones,
we
technology.
use drones to do this.
Yes. Where do you see the industry in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, the drone industry is a new one, and it has big potential. It's likened to the computer industry. The computer initially started as a military equipment, same thing with the drones, military equipment, but every single human needs a PC, a personal computer. So also the drone technology. The drone technology has grown to a hobby device where people fly to take themselves pictures. Now drones are in agriculture, spraying chemicals, inspecting crop health. They are in oil and gas, inspecting pipelines for defects, looking for damaged assets in the oil rigs, and also elsewhere in the oil industry. They're also in infrastructure, mapping buildings, ensuring that high-rises have the right ventilation, are properly built, and planning an entire city as well, mapping an entire city. So the future for the drone technology in the next 3 to 5 years will be delivery of both goods and humans as well. So there are several companies in the works that actually are trying to move large tons of goods with drones to ensure that, one, the deliveries are cheaper than using manned aircraft, and also move people. So imagine you have to go to work from the mainland to the island, and you have a drone just right there at National Theatre, and it takes off and lands you in VI in less than 3 to 5 minutes. You've passed a whole lot of traffic. So time. You've saved a whole lot of time, and it also increases your life expectancy, you live better, you don't have stress, and it becomes much more better. So we are seeing a point where we would have a whole lot of these drones flying over our heads, over populated areas, and the cause of concern would always be safety. And before then, there will always be safety mechanisms and systems that we put in place to ensure that these aircraft don't just land, are not just hijacked by terrorists or by criminals wanting to cause havoc.
What about the industry as a whole, the agricultural industry?
So now for the agricultural industry, definitely drones will actually implement or impact much more in trying to increase harvest yield, because currently we're already implementing drones to ensure that they're spraying, implementing drones to detect crop health. What that does is it reduces time, reduces cost for farmers. Farmers now have much more profit, they can now spend more. So currently what we're trying to do is to educate and then scale. So once we educate, the entire number of people now know that, okay, this system works, they now trust it, then it's scaling. At that point, we would have each and every farmer owning his own drone. We teach them, we manufacture the drones locally, sell to them, teach them how to use them, and they do it themselves.
And this takes us back to the first question, which is about the United Nations prediction of a growing population. So
Exactly.
if you have this massive, rewarding technology, it would definitely make a difference in the agricultural industry. So you've spoken a little bit about your business, which is big drones. I think that you have something very fascinating going on. So well done in that sector, in the tech sector. Thank you very much for coming on the show today. We hope that you can join us again as an analyst and as an entrepreneur as it concerns your industry.
Definitely.
SME Fast Track continues after the short break. Stay with us.